2008 New Year's resolutions. I have two of them. The first is to learn MySQL to the point where I'm working with it and have it implemented live on my website. Now I'm giving myself about half a year to get that done. The second New Year's resolution is to meet a decent girl. What does decent count as in my mind? Obviously single, my age, obviously female, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs, preferably doesn't drink, though I could tolerate someone who drinks a little bit. You know, I don't like slutty girls. I like girls who dress elegantly. You know, not all the time, but you know. So, anyway, so this is not a single site. So, I'm looking forward to messing with MySQL a little bit more. I actually have been trying to get an Ajax script to work in conjunction with my contact form. And what have I learned in 2007? Well, I went back to the basics and I learned pure CSS1 liquid, which works great in Internet Explorer 4 and Opera 4, which helped me understand the differences between CSS1 and CSS2. I started implementing CSS3 on my website. I've learned object-oriented programming, or at least a part of it, with PHP and classes. What's kind of interesting with PHP classes is you can create, I'm not sure if the proper terminology would be, but I'm going to refer to it as a class variable versus just a regular variable in PHP. What's pretty nifty is, for example, when you request a page on my website, you visit any page, multiple files are actually used to construct that page for you. And when there's a variable on a page that deals with a preference you have set, such as, for example, audio or the doc type or anything else, doesn't matter. There's all these different site options. So when you go to my site, there's boom at the top right, there's a site options menu. Those are all, there's like 30 different options or something you can mess with. So anyway, with procedural programming, if I have, because a variable can only be used on the file it's declared, unlike a class variable. Classes can be, as long as the file that the class is declared is linked to directly or indirectly, meaning, like, for example, you have one file that was like your template file that calls all the other sub files, and then indirectly you have the header file, and then the other file is like using the class variable, and the header file has the class variable defined. They don't have to be directly connected, they can be connected through a third file. So it's kind of interesting. So anyway, instead of doing the procedural programming of, let's say, 7, 8, 9 lines of code every single time on every page that needs the variable, so if using a variable, you use the class variable, because I'm not sure I'm not using the terminology correctly, but that's the general idea. And right, so it works beautiful. So I look forward to learning PHP more, more advanced than what I'm using it for, and to get a lot better to learn MySQL essentially, because I've messed with it, but I don't want to do it more on my own merits. Anyway, so Happy New Year to everyone. I think I didn't say that off the bat. So Happy New Year. This is not scripted here, so I'm just kind of messing around with this. So what have I done today? Well, I've been working on that contact form, where I now send an HTTP query, and an HTTP query is basically any page, like if you go to Yahoo or Google and you do a search or something, and you see, like, after somewhere in the address you'll see a question mark, and you'll see like something equals something, and you might see like question mark, something equals something, and something equals something, and something equals something. Well, those are HTTP queries. And I have the contact form now that will detect a certain HTTP query when it's requested, when the PHP file is requested via AJAX. And if it's not the default, or if it's, depending on what it is, it'll change who the contact form will be used for. So the contact form was originally just used for contacting me through my contact form, and I'm now setting it up to allow visitors to email artists on my website that are featured, which is kind of nifty. But that won't be used with MySQL, but eventually I'll merge that to MySQL. So it's kind of interesting. I'm learning just a lot, and that's a good thing because I don't want to stop learning. So anyway, again, Happy New Year to everyone. If you've learned anything interesting, it doesn't have to be web related or anything, but be happy to read what you have to post, and go ahead and post your New Year's resolutions as well, if you have any. If you don't like posting, if you don't like New Year's resolutions, or you're not sure if you will be able to keep them or not, I'm shooting for at least 1 out of 2, but here's hoping. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and have a Happy New Year, everyone.